You're watching Yoga with Ellie Camille. I'm Ellie, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today for my very first yoga YouTube video. This is a yoga practice for winter, which we are in the thick of right now. I know that means different things in different parts of the world. Here in Pittsburgh, it's very cold. We've seen a little bit of snow. And we've passed the winter solstice by now, so the days are starting to get longer, but they're still very short. Everything is still very quiet in nature, dormant. Winter is a time to recharge our energy before the renewal of spring. And this cooler and quieter energy relates to yin style. Yin energy in the traditional Taoist philosophy. If this calming yin style energy is left unbalanced, it can lead to a lack of motivation, which you might be feeling in these dark, cold winter months. So to balance that, we're going to focus on its opposite energy, yang style asanas, which are warmer poses. Hopefully we'll be able to heat up our minds and our bodies through the practice today. If you have some props at home, go ahead and pause the video and grab 2 blocks and a bolster. If you don't have blocks, you can find some objects that serve the same purpose, maybe a really thick book for a block, or if you don't have a bolster, you could find a thick pillow, a long, thick pillow. You don't have to have props. They do enhance the practice, but you can also find household objects if you don't have any. I will provide some modifications throughout the video. If you have a specific injury that you need help with, or something isn't feeling quite right, comment down below and I will reply to you with some advice. And then always remember that child's pose is available to you if you need to rest at any point during the practice. So to begin heating up the body, we're going to do a gentle Kumbhaka pranayama. Pranayama is breath work, and there's a lot that goes into it. This is going to be a very simple beginner level exercise. Kumbhaka is traditionally practiced holding the breath for 10 seconds. We're just going to do 2 or 3 seconds today. So come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Take a big inhale in, fully inflating the lungs. Hold the breath for 1, 2. Slowly exhale out all the air from the lungs. And repeat. Big inhale in, hold 1, 2, 3. Slowly exhale out. And we're going to continue this breath cycle for a few minutes. So inhale in, hold, 1, 2, exhale. And you can go at your own pace. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2. When you're ready, you can return your breath to normal. And a big thing about yoga, always remember the breath. Come back to it when poses are challenging. Come back to it when poses are not challenging. Yoga is all about matching breathing to movement. So we're going to try to do that today. If you are not in an easy seat, come down to sit. Cross your legs with your ankles underneath your knees as best as you can. You know, maybe you need some blocks underneath, or maybe you need to widen out from your pelvis. But this should be a nice, comfortable posture. Sit bones are rooted to the earth. Spine is nice and tall. Inhale your arms up. Lower your right arm and stretch over to the right side. Inhale. Exhale, deepen the stretch a little bit. On your next inhale, straighten up, bring your right hand up, left arm down. Exhale and lean a little to the left side, feeling the stretch in your right body. Right in here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. On your next inhale, come up and lower your right arm. We're going to do a twist. We bring your left arm to your right knee, bring your right arm behind you, and twist from your torso to the right. You can follow with your head, stopping wherever is comfortable for you. And inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. On your next inhale, come back to center. Other side, take your right hand to your left knee. Left hand goes behind you. Have your fingertips tented or your palm flat, whichever feels best. Make sure that twist comes from your torso and have your head follow last. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. On your next inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to do a reverse tabletop. So turn on your mat, bend your knees, have your feet flat, about hips width apart. Place your palms behind you with your fingertips facing your body. And then on your next inhale, slowly lift your hips up into a reverse tabletop position. You can bring your head back a little bit. Don't let it fall back the whole way. You want it to feel good. You don't want to strain anything. Engage your core to keep your body up. Push away from your mat and hold for another breath. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hips down. And then come forward to a normal tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips high into downward facing dog. So hands are about shoulder width apart. Feet are about hips width apart. Flat back, hips are high. Heels melt down to the ground, but it's okay if they don't reach all the way to the ground. You can bend your knees as much as you like to help you in this shape. If you want to find some movement, you can pedal out your legs, or you can just hold. We'll hold for another breath. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up high behind you and then bring it in between your hands. We're going to do a crescent lunge. You can drop your back knee. Engage your core and bring your hands to your thigh, lifting up your torso. You can stay here, or you can bring your arms overhead, or you can bring them to prayer at your heart. Take a full breath in and out. On your next exhale, lower your hands to the floor, palms flat. Bring your right knee to meet your left. Tuck your toes. Exhale, hips high to downward facing dog. Your biceps are framing your ears. Your head is soft, your neck is soft. Take a full breath in and out. On your next inhale, look up between your hands, and we're going to roll forward into a plank. Make sure your shoulders are directly above your wrists. You've got a nice flat back with everything in line. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, lower down to your belly. You can drop your knees if you like, and then lower down. Inhale, push up for cobra, so your hands stay directly below your shoulders. You lengthen up through your crown. Heart shines forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, hips high for downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, raise your left leg up. Bring it in between your hands. Lower your back knee. Engage your core and bring your hands to your thighs, or whatever variation you prefer. I'm getting a nice stretch in that back leg and your quads. Hips should be square to the front of the mat. Take a full breath in and out. On your next exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Bring your left knee back to meet the right and downward and tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arms should be relatively straight here, but you don't want to lock them out. So keep a, kind of soft bend in the elbows. As much bend in the knees as you need. Just kind of pushing your heels towards the ground as far as they can go. You might find that throughout the practice, your heels get closer and closer to the ground. Okay, I'm going to roll forward into plank. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look up at your hands and step or jump your feet to meet your hands. We're going to be in a forward fold. So feet are kind of closer together. Head is hanging down. Your fingertips can be on the floor. They can be on your shins. Wherever you can reach that's comfortable. You can have a bend in your legs where they can be relatively straight. I'm going to just breathe for a minute. On your next inhale, you're going to come up halfway. You want to lengthen out through the crown of your head so you have a nice flat back. Your hands can be at your shins. If you're able to, you can even keep your hands towards the floor, but shins or thighs, wherever you're able to come up so that your back is nice and flat. It's halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up with a flat back, arms out and up overhead. Maybe take a little mini back bend. And then exhale, float your arms down to Tadasana or mountain pose. So in mountain pose, our feet are together, our legs are strong, we're lengthening up through the crown of the head, arms are by our sides, palms facing out. And engage the core a little bit to help keep your spine nice and long. And we breathe. Okay. Now we're going to do 5 rounds of sun salutations. So if you are experienced in this and you want to move through at your own pace, that is completely fine. You can just meet us at the end. Otherwise, I'm going to walk you through the sun salutations. So you're starting at the front of your mat in Tadasana, which is what we just ended in. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So you want the fold to come from your hips. You're hinging at the hips. You're sending them back. You're coming down with a flat back as far as you can. And then you're rounding down, letting your head fall, your fingertips fall to the floor, bending your knees if you have to. Like I said before, your fingertips can come wherever is comfortable, wherever they reach. You can even use a block if that feels good for you. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back into a low lunge. And then your left foot back to meet it in plank. On your next exhale, lower your knees. This is chaturanga. You want to be very careful to do this pose correctly, because over time, if you're doing it incorrectly, it can lead to injury. So you want your wrists right below your shoulders, your elbows squeeze in as you lower down, and you kind of want to pause when they're at 90 degrees. So pause there and then lower the rest of the way down. And you want to come down with a very flat back so that you don't injure your shoulders or your back or anything like that. Inhale up for cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, come up to tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Exhale your hips high to downward facing dog. Look forward at your hands. Lift your, bring your right foot in between your hands and then your left foot to meet it and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, flip them down to your sides. That was 1 round. We're going to do 4 more. Need to adjust any clothing, go ahead and do that. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Coming down with a flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. This time, step your left foot back into a low lunge. Right foot back to meet it in plank. Chaturanga, drop your knees. Lower, pause, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale up to tabletop. Tuck the toes. Exhale, hips high for downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot up in between your hands. Your right foot up to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up with a flat back, arms up and overhead. Exhale, float your hands down by your sides. Tadasana. All right, you can take your eyes off the video. Let my voice guide you. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step 1 foot back into a low lunge and then the other in plank. Lower your knees. Chaturanga. Pause halfway. Lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up to tabletop. Exhale, hips high to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Step 1 foot up and then the other into forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. Exhale, float them down by your sides. Tadasana. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up, overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step 1 foot back into lunge. Other foot back into plank. Lower your knees. Come down through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Up to tabletop, inhale. Exhale, send your hips high to downward facing dog. Look forward at your hands. Step, hop, lunge, however you want to get there. Step your feet up to forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back all the way up with a flat back, arms up and overhead. Exhale, float your arms down to Tadasana. One last time, let's do it. We are in Tadasana. We have a strong core. We're ready for this last round. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step it back to plank. Drop your knees. Come through chaturanga. Inhale, up to cobra. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to tabletop, tuck the toes. Excuse me. Exhale your hips up, downward facing dog. Look forward at your hands. If you're feeling it, jump those feet up. If not, you can just walk your feet up. Or step and lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms up, overhead. Exhale, float them down by your side. Tadasana. So take a breath there. If you need to pause the video and get some water, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Maybe the left side. I'm facing my left side of the mat. Step or hop your feet wide. We're going to do triangle pose. Turn your right foot to face the short edge of your mat. Left foot stays parallel. Inhale your arms up so that they're parallel with the floor. And you're going to reach out over that right foot and then fold from your hip and bring your fingertips. They can come to the floor, your ankle, your shin, even your thigh. If this is kind of as far as you can go, that is fine. But just come to wherever's comfortable. Your back arm reaches towards the sky, stacking your shoulders. And this is triangle pose. Take a full breath in and out. On your next inhale, engage your core and bring your torso up to standing. Turn your right foot back to parallel to the short edge and turn your left foot to face the back edge of your mat. Keep those hips open. Arms out and up. Reach over that left foot and then bring your torso down. This is an opportunity to use a block if you need it. There's kind of 3 different settings. This is the shortest, this is medium, and then this is the highest setting. So whatever setting you want, you can put your block there and your fingertips can rest on your block, and it definitely can help make the pose feel better. Take a full breath in and out. Make sure that right hand is reaching towards the sky. On your next inhale, engage your core to bring your torso up. Turn your left foot back to parallel. Step or hop your feet together and bring your hands to prayer. And then down by your sides for Tadasana. We're going to do triangle again on the right side. So step those feet wide. Turn your right foot out. Arms parallel. Reach and then come down. And make sure your chest is opening towards the side. Your heart is shining towards the side of your mat. Take a full breath in and out. On your next exhale, we're gonna bend the knee. We're gonna come into extended side angle. So even just bending the knee, if you wanna keep your fingertips towards the floor, that's fine. Another variation, you can bring your forearm up to your thigh. And then with your top arm, you can leave it, straight up, or you can bring it kind of over your head, pointing towards the front of your mat, with your bicep next to your ear. Make sure your knee stays over your ankle. Just feel a nice stretch in that left side body, and take a full breath in and out. On your next inhale, engage your core to bring your torso up. Straighten your right leg, turn your foot, turn your left foot out. If you need to adjust your stance a little bit, sometimes our feet slide in these poses. We're starting with triangle over the left side, so arms out, reach and come down. Resting your hands where they are comfortable. We're gonna breathe, take a few breaths here. On your next exhale, move into extended side angle. Bend that left knee. Take whatever arm variation you like. You can stay here. You can bring your forearm up to your thigh. You can bring your right hand over your head towards the front of the mat. Make sure your chest is continuing to shine open, shine outwards towards the long edge of your mat. Keep a lift in your torso. You don't want to collapse into that arm if it's on your thigh. On your next inhale, engage your core to come up. Straighten your left leg, turn your foot, and you can step or hop your feet together, hands together at your chest, and then float them down to Tadasana. Take a breath. Okay, we're going to do chair pose. So if your feet aren't together, bring them close together, legs together, and you're going to exhale, bend your knees, and you want to sit back into your hips. You want to try to keep your knees from going over your ankles. So you're really sitting back into your hips, kind of like you're sitting in a chair. And your arms are going to come up overhead. They can be up overhead. They can be out in front of you. They can be at prayer if that's too much for your shoulders. Lots of variations wherever feels best for you. You want to try to keep that back flat and hold. This can be a challenging posture to hold, so breathe. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands to your hips. We're going to do warrior one. So if you're not at the top of your mat, come to the top of your mat, engage your core to step your left foot back about 3 or 4 feet. That foot's gonna turn out like about 45 degrees. Maybe you have it pointing towards the corner of your yoga mat. Your right foot, your right knee is going to bend. Knee right over your ankle. Keep your hips square to the front of the mat. And then you can inhale your arms up and overhead. It's another one where they can come to prayer. This is warrior one. And take a full breath in and out. On your next exhale, lower your arms to your hips. Engage your core and step that back foot up to meet the right foot. We're going to do another chair pose. So on your next exhale, sink down into your hips and raise your arms up overhead. You want to work to get your thighs kind of as close to parallel as you can, but you know, this is your practice. So if you're here, that's great. If you're lower, that's great. Most important thing is that you're sinking into your heels, into your hips, and that you're listening to your body. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, take your hands to your hips, warrior one on the other side. So engage your core, step your right foot back about 3-4 feet, turn your foot about 45 degrees, square your hips, bend your left knee, and then inhale your arms up, overhead, palms facing each other. Keep that core engaged to help with balance. Take a full breath in and out. On your next exhale, lower your hands to your hips. Engage your core. Step your right foot up to meet your left. And then you can lower your hands into Tadasana. Take a breath to reset. We're going to do warrior one again on the right side. So engage your core. Step your left foot back. Turn your foot out a little bit, 45 degrees. Bend your right knee. Hips square. Inhale your arms up overhead. Imagine there's this like string like pulling your crown, keeping your spine nice and long. And then we're grounding down through our back leg into that back heel. On your next inhale, you can straighten your right leg. You lower your arms. We're going to turn our hips and our torso out to the long edge of the mat, and we need to turn our feet. So turn your right foot parallel to the short edge. Turn your left foot out a little bit. And then we're actually going to like pigeon our feet just a little bit. We're going to do wide-legged forward fold. So hands come to your hips. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen your spine up. And then as you exhale, fold from your hips, kind of like when we did a forward fold at the top of the mat. You're going to hinge from the hips, come with a flat back as far as you can. And then when you get there, you can round down, bring your fingertips to the ground. They can hang there, they can rest on a block, they can touch the ground if you're able to. Make your neck nice and soft. And breathe in and out. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your hips and come up with a flat back. You can step or hop your feet together. And then exhale your arms to Tadasana. Take a breath. And we're going to do that sequence on the other side. I'm going to come to the back of my mat. You can come to the front of your mat, but I want to be able to face you. So I'm going to come to the back of my mat. We're going to do chair pose. Back up, make sure you can see me. Okay. On your next exhale, sink into your hips. Bend your knees. Inhale your arms up overhead or, out in front of you in prayer. Hold here for a breath. You should be really sinking into your heels so that if you try to lift your toes, you should be able to lift your toes without falling out of this pose. Really sink into those heels. Inhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back now so that you are at, your right foot's at a 45-degree angle. Bend your left knee. Inhale your arms up overhead, or prayer, wherever you like. Try to keep that back heel down. You're pressing through the outer edge of your back foot, pressing into the heel of your front foot. And you're breathing. Okay, you can exhale your arms down, straighten your left foot. We're going to turn our bodies out again, so turn your feet. They're slightly pigeoned. Your torso is now facing the long edge of your mat. Hands come to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold from the hips, hinge forward. And then you can bring your fingertips to wherever you like. The floor, the air, block. Take a full breath in. You feel a stretch in the backs of your legs, a stretch in your back. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your hips and come up with a flat back. Step or hop your feet together and float your arms down for Tadasana. Awesome work so far, you guys. We're getting towards the end. We're going to do some balancing, twisting, and a big back bend. So hang in there with me. We're doing awesome. The balance pose that we're going to do is dancer. So come to the front of your mat, feet together. You're in Tadasana. So all those points, we've got your core engaged, your legs turned on, toes touching, nice long spine. Shift the weight into your left foot. Bend your right knee and bring your foot towards your butt. And if you can, grab your foot with your right hand. Inhale your left hand up, and then we're going to kick our foot away from our body and tilt our torso forward as far as we can. It does not have to be very far. You're stretching that right leg. You're building strength in your standing leg. Engage your core and find something to focus on. A point, a dot on the wall, on the floor. That's going to help you. And then breathe into this beautiful pose. Wherever you're at, it looks awesome. I know it does. And if you fall out, like I'm about to fall, that's okay. We'll catch you. You can rest or you can come back into it. Breathe. When you're ready, slowly come out of the posture. Lower your leg, lower your arm. Shake it out a little bit. That's a balance and a back bend in one. It's a great pose. Okay. When you're ready, shift your weight into your right foot now. Bend your left knee, foot behind you towards your glutes. Hold it with your left hand. Inhale your right hand up. And as far as you can, kick that left foot out. Think about keeping your chest lifted and shining your heart forward. You don't want to just dump and fall. So you want to, this is very controlled. Keep your chest lifted, tilt your torso forward if you can, and just go as far as you can. If you fall, like I said, it's no big deal. I just fell. I'm going to come back into it though, because I love this pose. So remember to keep length in the spine always. And then when you're ready, slowly come out. Lower your hand back to Tadasana. Take a deep breath. It's so awesome to celebrate those balancing poses. They're tough, but they can really benefit you, not just on the mat. Slowly come down to kneeling, maybe in the middle of your mat. Engage your core and step your right foot out straight. Keep your left hip over your left knee. Inhale your left arm out, palm up, and then we're going to stretch over that right leg. So you can bring your right arm as far as feels comfortable. Don't ever force any yoga poses. Find what feels good for you. You should feel a stretch here. I even feel a stretch like in my right hip a little bit when I do this. But we want to keep length in the spine as we inhale. And as we exhale, we can maybe sink a little deeper. On your next inhale, come up, exhale that arm down. Engage your core here so that you don't fall. Bring your knee in, and then bring your left leg out straight. Keep your right hip over your right knee. Inhale your arm out, up, and then exhale to lean over the left leg, bringing your left arm as far down, your left hand as far down your leg as feels good. As you inhale, you want to make sure you have length in your spine. As you exhale, you can sink a little bit deeper. Inhale up, exhale your hand down. Engage your core. Bring your left knee in. Awesome. You can turn. We're going to do downward dog. So come to tabletop with your hands below your shoulders. Maybe you walk your knees back a little bit. Tuck your toes. Exhale, hips high into downward facing dog. Stretch out your back here. Try to keep it nice and long. Kind of imagine a line of energy through your spine. One straight long line from your crown to your tailbone. On your next inhale, raise your right foot up behind you and then bring it in between your hands. Bring your torso up. Inhale, bring your torso up. Bring your hands to your heart and prayer. And now we're going to twist. So you're going to bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh and twist to the right. You want to make sure that you are keeping length in your spine. Breathing. On your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your foot back so that you're in a plank, and then exhale your hips high into downward facing dog. And take a breath here. On your next inhale, float your left foot up. Bring it in between your legs. Engage your core. Inhale. Bring your torso up. And bring your hands to your heart. We're going to twist again. So bring your right elbow this time to the outside of your left thigh. Twist your torso to the left. Kind of try to shine your heart open that way. And breathe. Make sure your right knee isn't going over your right ankle. Take another deep breath in and out. And on your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale your arms, your hands down to the floor. Take your foot back into a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly lower your knees. And we're going to do hero pose. So come into kind of kneeling, knees together. And then take your toes wide. So kind of like as wide as your hips. So you're going to sit down in between your feet. If that's a lot for your knees, you can use your bolster. Put it in between your calves and your thighs. And then you can sit down onto that. That takes a lot of pressure out of the knees. Not as deep of a stretch, so it's really good if you've got tight hamstrings, quads, calves. So, hero pose. And then I'm going to turn to face you guys. We're also going to add cow face arms to our hero pose. So wherever you're at with your hero pose, hold there and breathe. Inhale your left arm up and bend your elbow. That hand's going to come in between your shoulder blades. Exhale your right arm out and around, bend that elbow, and then if you can, hook your fingers together. Right now my fingers are not touching, but just press your palms into your upper back. And make sure you have length in the spine. Breathe. On your next exhale, unravel your arms. We're going to switch sides. So right arm comes up and behind. Left arm is out and lower. And then again, try to hook your fingers. You might find a difference in the sides. So right now I'm hooking my fingers, but on the first side I was not able to. So wherever you're at is perfectly okay. You can grab your t-shirt. You can press your palms into your back. You can hook fingers if you're able to. If you have a strap, I didn't grab a strap today, but if you have a strap, you can use that in this posture. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next exhale, unravel your arms. And we're going to move into reclined hero. So it's another opportunity for a bolster if you're not already using it. But you want to stay in hero pose. Make sure you have length in your spine. And then we're going to lay back onto our backs. I'm going to put a bolster behind me to lay back on. You choose what you want to do. But first you come back onto your palms, and then your forearms, and then finally your back. And you can stop at whatever point is comfortable. If this is deep enough of a stretch, then you're right here. You're reclined. That's awesome. If you can come all the way, if you're laying on a bolster like I am, you're still getting an amazing stretch. Lay your arms out, if you're able to, about 45 degrees away from your body. Palms facing upwards. Take a full breath in and out. When you're ready, slowly come up the same way you came down. So forearms first, and then your palms, and then up. And then we're going to come up to kneeling. Move your bolster, your pillow out of the way. Okay, our last big pose before our cool down. So we're going to do camel pose. You are on your knees, kneeling. Knees are about hip width apart. Feet and legs are parallel. This is a really good opportunity to use blocks. So you can bring a block each to the outside of your feet if you would like. Let's start with putting our hands on our backs, and then we're going to start to lean back over our toes, but we want our hips to stay over our knees. Okay, so we're not crunching here, we're not leaning back like this, we're staying upright. And if this is as far as you go, this is great. This is an awesome back bend. If you want to go further, you take your hands to your blocks or your ankles, your heels, and then shine your chest up. Your head does not need to go back all the way. You can lean it back to where it's comfortable for you. Breathe. When you're ready, on your next inhale, engage your core, come up, use your hands to support your low back. Shake it out a little bit. Awesome job. The hard work is over. Now we're going to cool down and get ready for Shavasana. So come to sit on your mat with your legs out in front of you. Spine nice and long. Bend your right knee. Place it over your left leg, outside of that left thigh. Take your right hand behind you. You can have your fingertips tented or your palm flat. Left hand on your knee, or you can wrap it around your knee and turn to the right. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And if it feels good, you can look over that right shoulder. On your next inhale, come back to center, straighten out your right leg, bend your left leg, place your foot over your right thigh, bring your left arm around behind you, and place your fingertips behind you. Right hand on your knee or wrap around your knee. Turn your torso to the left. Make sure that twist comes from your torso. Your head and your neck will follow. Last, as far as feels comfortable. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Just did a lot of hard work on your spine. Hopefully warmed up your body really nicely. So we're going to hold these poses for a few extra breaths. Really stretch out the spine, give your body a chance to cool down. On your next inhale, come back to center, straighten out your leg. Go ahead and bend your left leg and place your foot on the inside of your right thigh, knee out wide. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to fold out over your right leg. This is called head to knee. If your head does not make it to your knee, that's okay. You want to focus on folding from the hips, just like when we're standing. So nice flat back. Hands can rest wherever they reach, ankle, shin, knee. And then when you fold as far as you can while keeping a flat back, then you can round over a little bit. I'm going to twist to the left. So you bring your right hand and right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. If you like, your left arm can come up and over for a bit of a left side body stretch. Revolved head to knee pose. Take some slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, twist your torso back to the center and come up. I'm going to do the other side now. So straighten out your left leg. Right knee bends and goes out to the side. Right foot high on your left thigh. Sit up nice and tall. And then bend over your left leg. Reach your hands wherever feels best. You should feel a really nice stretch in the back of your left leg. You did a lot of hard work strengthening that today. And when you've folded as far as you can round your head down a little bit. You're going to twist to the side, so you bring your left arm and shoulder inside that left knee. Your right hand, you can stay here, or your right hand can come up and overhead to stretch the right side body a little bit. And breathe in and out. When you're ready, twist your torso back to center and come up. And both legs out straight now, seated forward fold. So make sure you're grounding down through your sit bones. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold at the hips, only coming as far as feels good. If you only come this far, that's great. If you want to bend your knees to go a little further, that's fine too. Find what feels good for your body in this moment. It might be different from day to day, moment to moment. Just make sure you're listening to your body. You can roll your head down, tuck your chin if you like. On your next inhale, come up with a flat back. You shake out your legs. And we're going to move into Shavasana. So, scooch forward a little bit, hug your knees in, and roll slowly down onto your back. If there are socks or a blanket that you want to grab to put on, in case you get a little bit chilly, go ahead and grab that now. Otherwise, we're here on our backs. Feet are a little bit open, maybe hips distance. You can let them fall open. Arms are out slightly from your sides, palms facing up. Nice long spine. Chin tucked slightly to elongate the neck. Gently close your eyes. This is Shavasana or corpse pose. We're going to stay here for a few minutes. And today we're going to think of Shavasana as its own winter, a period of dormancy. Sometimes we go against our winter instincts. We go out when we feel like staying in under the covers. Now we're going to allow yourself to give in to your impulses, to be cozy and reclusive, to rest inside yourself rather than going outward into the world. You have nothing to do now, like the squirrels, frogs, bears, all the animals who have found spots that are safe and warm and have entered a period of hibernation, conserving their energy. Your mind is quiet, as if deep inside of you there's an axis that tips the hemisphere of your attention, either toward the activity and brilliance of the sun or away from it. And right now, this axis has tipped away from the sun, where things are more peaceful and darker. It's time. The light is becoming stronger and more direct. You can see it, orange and white. Even behind your closed eyelids, you can see it. You can feel the light's warmth coursing across the skin of your face. The light is so vibrant, it makes you feel like stretching, like rising. You feel rejuvenated, as if you've been resting deeply for months. You are hungry to rejoin the world, curious to see what has changed and moved and grown in your absence, and what, like you, is just beginning to come back to life. When you're ready, roll to one side and push up into a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer. Gently open your eyes if they're still closed. Bring your thumbs up to your third eye and your forehead. And together we all say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave me some comments, some feedback. Let me know how you liked it. And if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit subscribe so you could get the next video. Thank you. See you next time.